You're paying for 2 Starlink subscriptions and only using the bandwidth of one. SpaceX won't tell you this, but your Mac doesn't bond multiple Starlink WAN connections by default. It just picks one. So I went and built the software that does that. It's called Speedify. Here's the 5-minute setup. First, go to speedify.com, click download, and get Speedify for your computer. On the Mac, you can either download directly or you can get it from the App Store. So once you've got it installed, you got to give the VPN permission when it asks. And then the first thing you do is you connect to your first Starlink internet connection, be either Wi-Fi or Ethernet. You see here, I have connected to the Wi-Fi hotspot off my first Starlink, and it shows up Wi-Fi, Starlink. Now for the second connection, I'm going to connect my other Starlink using Ethernet, since I have 2 ports on my Mac. So I plug that in, and a minute later, or a second later in this case, it shows up in Speedify. So now you can see I have 2 connections, Ethernet to Starlink and Wi-Fi to Starlink. Now, if you want to connect to even more, or if you don't want to use Wi-Fi, you can use USB-C Ethernet cards to get more ports on your Mac to connect to new Starlinks. You can even connect to other kinds of internet connections. You can tether a cell phone. You can join, a DSL Wi-Fi, whatever it is. Once you've got these, you can click on them for more information. So here I've clicked on the Ethernet, and there's some basic stats like the IP address and that it's Starlink and how good the signal quality is, and the priority. Normally you leave the priority at automatic. Priority is basically the cost of the connection. How okay are you with using it? Primary means you can use it all the time, which is what we default to when we see a Starlink. Secondary says it's kind of expensive. Try to use it less than the primaries, but it's okay to use it for a speed boost. Backup means only use it if we need to stay online, and never says don't use this connection. So usually, since Starlinks have a lot of data available and they're pretty fast, you want them on primary. And if you set to automatic, it'll put them on primary. Unless you hit your data cap for your month, or your Starlink starts overheating, and then Speedify, if it's left on automatic, will automatically drop them to lower priorities to try to use other connections if they're available. Next, if it's a Starlink, you'll see this section here, Starlink stats, and you can expand it. This shows you everything we know about your Starlink. And it's kind of interesting. It's got how long it's been since the Starlink first got booted up. It's got the latency and upload speeds you see. You'll notice, if you watch for a while, the latencies it reports are the latency across the satellite to the ground station. It doesn't include the time to get to the internet. So it always will report lower latencies than what you see in Speedify, which includes the whole thing all the way to the internet and back. Doesn't mean there's a problem, they're just reporting slightly different things. And you can see all sorts of information about how it's tilted, what plan you're on, are you rate limited from using too much data, what software version you have, and if there are any problems with your dish, an alert will show up in red here. Dish is overheating, if it's in the middle of a software update, if it can't get good signal strength. That'll all show up right here in Speedify. Another thing to show you is there's a new screen called Starlink Control. And this is really useful if you have multiple Starlinks. It shows you a summary of the stats of all your Starlinks in one spot. It shows you this neat connectivity graph that shows you the last 15 minutes. Yeah, you can see that the one dish is having problems. It got disconnected twice. The one I'm connected to over Wi-Fi is fine. So the whole time I've been connected because one of the Starlinks has been okay. Next, we show the obstruction maps. This is the point of view of the sky of each of the Starlinks. So green means it can see the sky fine. Then dark gray means it can't get any signal at all. And red means it gets very weak signal there. Typically, that'll turn out to be a tree, messing up the signal, where, a brick wall or a building will turn out to be a gray shape. And so this can be helpful when you get to dish orientation. Speaking of dish orientation, then we have this, which it's oriented with north at the top, south at the bottom, and it shows which direction each of your Starlinks is pointed and how far it's tilted. So the longer the line is, the further out it is, the more tilted it is. So you can see my 2 dishes are pointed opposite directions, one to the northeast, one to the southwest, and they're each tilted, 25, 26 degrees. If you just have one dish, this thing will walk you through the same way that the Starlink app does, telling you to point it either to the north, if you're in the northern hemisphere, or the south, if you're in the southern hemisphere. And if you just have one dish, that's probably what you want, unless there's some obstructions around. You want to avoid them. But if you have more than one dish, you really want to make sure that they end out pointed at different satellites. So you want to get them a little bit separated. You want to get them tilted. You want to get them tilted in opposite directions. So they each get different views of the sky, so that if one goes out, probably the other won't go out at the same time. And that can make a really big difference. So Speedify offers some setup analysis. It'll put together a little analysis here about how much obstruction each of your dishes have. Are they pointing the same direction? What can you do to avoid them? If you don't like this stuff, you can turn off the bonding alignment. If your dishes are going to be moving around because you've put it on a boat, on a truck, on an RV, something that's moving, then telling you that you pointed in the wrong direction is not very helpful, because the next turn in the road or turn in the river or whatever, it's going to change again. You can turn on vehicle platform, and then a lot of these alerts go away and it stops bothering you about which way they're pointed. If you want to adjust a given dish, you can click on it here. It takes you into the dish alignment, which is sort of the same graph, but now it's focused on that one dish. And it tells you alignment looks good. It shows you the whole sky. It can walk you through adjusting it. In fact, there's a neat feature here, audio tracking. It gives these happy little bings that change frequency and loudness and pitch as you get better or worse aligned. So if you're up on a ladder trying to adjust your dish, you can have, AirPods in and be listening to that sound to know when you got it right, instead of struggling to look at a computer screen or look at your phone. A lot of this stuff is in the Starlink app, and not the audio, of course. But why shouldn't you just use that? And the answer is the Starlink app can only connect to one dish at a time, because all the dishes have the same IP address. So it only lets you use one dish at a time, both for connectivity and for monitoring and for control. Speedify not only lets you send packets on all of them, lets you control all of them. You can click around here and just choose which dish you want to look at, and it sees all of them and can control all of them at once. So if you have multiple dishes, Speedify is actually the only way to manage and monitor and control them, and of course use them at once. If you want to try this, go to speedify.com. It's available for Mac, which we've been talking about here, but it's also there for Windows, Linux, OpenWRT, iPhone, Android, pretty much any operating system. You can download it and you can use it for free for 2 gigabytes a month, which, is enough to give it a really good test and see that this thing really works. You can be in the middle of a live stream and one of the connections can get pulled, and we will seamlessly fail you over to the other one. If you have 2 connections and they're not quite fast enough, we'll give some packets to one, some packets to the other, and give you close to speed of both of them added up. It's really great, and I think you should check it out.